No, I don't need rotten fish. I don't need rotten fish. Where's the rotten fish? Or the milk balls. We are lactose intolerant. New Year's special. Keep on coaxing. Well, I live my life by helping other people. It's been, yeah, people in general have been pretty supportive. But he's the one who basically alerted me to, yeah, here come the roaches. I really don't want to deal with fighting like 10 roaches. He hit me in the torso through plate armor. That's pretty dang impressive. If I had not found out about the Twitch affiliates being able to monetize, I probably wouldn't be streaming because previously the requirements for monetizing was partner only. I guess it changed in 2019. But for partner, you need 75 average viewers. And there was no way I was going to get anywhere close to that anytime in the near future. So I wasn't feeling like this was something I wanted to do. I didn't enjoy Twitch too much. When I first tried streaming, not a lot of people showed up. I didn't have very much support. And I felt like without an audience, it's basically just recording offline without the upside of recording offline. And now with a larger audience and stuff, it's like I feel more comfortable. There are enough people in chat most of the time where if I'm struggling with not being able to talk, someone will say something that, I can riff off of or whatever, give my opinion on, that sort of thing. So I've actually been enjoying streaming. And yeah, it's been going pretty well. Like I said, we made the metric for being an affiliate. I'm still stuck with the actual formation of a business and how to handle that. And I've been tempted to just use my own personal name and say, forget the business. But I don't think that's in my best interest. I think it's better to structure it now at the beginning rather than trying to do it later on and trying to separate individuals. Because I don't know if you can. I don't know how you, like liability, I don't know how you separate assets once you've already set up something in your own personal name and that kind of stuff. So I think I'm still going to hold off until I can actually form a small business to do that for. Which is not great because I could use some money, frankly. But I think it's probably better long term and in my best interest to do it that way. So yeah, that's very much in hiatus. But the support has been good. Like I said, my YouTube audience, people from Discord, some of the devs, people come out in support. There aren't a lot of us Cataclysm streamers, to be honest. There's like 4 of us that do it on a regular basis, 5 maybe. And some of those people don't really have consistent schedules, and really Vorm is the only one, I would say, out of all of us that is super consistent and super well known in the community and super well versed in the game. Obviously Vorm is kind of the peak of the Twitch streamers for Cataclysm, but it's a small community and people do come out to support each other. And I've been part of the community for like 3-ish years. Was on the forum for a long time, and was where I met a lot of people, and then have been on the Discord as a constant presence. Been creating YouTube content for Cataclysm pretty much daily for about like a year to a year and a half. Did a tutorial series, which is something that really draws people in. So the community's been great. Let's dump this in our shopping cart. And yeah, the support's been really good. Why did that not... It didn't highlight the pair, but it put the pair in there anyway? That's odd. And we can put the helm back on because we're not down in a basement somewhere. I think it's silly. Actually, it's nighttime. We are completely blind. Take the helm off. Never mind then. Should save more frequently as well. You will get there. Affiliate is guaranteed. Partner requires an application. I didn't know that. I thought affiliate also required an application. Turkey Bacon, Mad Irishman, Vorm, and me. And then C Black also streams Cataclysm from time to time. Yeah, those are the ones I see popping up in the Discord. I see other people stream it from time to time. I sometimes will, if I have exhausted my YouTube viewing for the day, we'll go on Twitch and just Google, search Cataclysm and see who's playing. And there are other people who play the game, but they usually don't really know what they're doing and haven't really played the game before. So it's like, I feel like it's fine that they play the game. It exposes them to more people. Like, let's say you have 100 viewers and you decide today we're going to play Cataclysm. It helps bring people to the game that maybe wouldn't have seen it otherwise. But a lot of times those people don't really know what they're doing. A lot of times they have really ugly tile sets, or their text is so tiny you can't read it. And, you know, it's not the same as doing it all the time, or being really good at the game. You adjusted quickly to streaming murder. Glad you enjoy it now. Yeah, it was a pretty quick transition. The first time I tried streaming, it didn't go well at all. But I was also streaming like Binding of Isaac, which is not where my core audience is. And so I would have like one viewer mostly. And with one viewer, I'm glad that they came out to support me, but it's not the same as having, you know, 6 people in chat that I can talk to if I get stuck or whatever. It's not the same. So streaming Cataclysm and trying to get on a regular schedule, it's mostly been the community. It's less about me adjusting and more about people showing up and being supportive and interacting with me through chat and things like that. I think has been the really helpful part of that. So thank you, internet. Murder a child real quick. We'll just head down here, see what's in this house. You got Rycon too. Does Rycon stream Cataclysm? I know he does, of course, the role plays on YouTube, but he's not someone I really see in the community ever. He's not someone I see. I don't know if he's on the Reddit. I don't go on the Reddit, but like I never saw him in Discord in all these years. I've never talked to him on the forum or anything. And last I had checked, his Cataclysm wasn't a constant thing on his channel. It was more intermittent. But for sure, Rycon counts as a YouTuber for Cataclysm. You said me and knows what they are doing. I mean, yeah. I remember your first Cataclysm stream. And yeah, Rycon doesn't stream. Okay. Yeah, I think Rycon's an interesting dude. And I like some of the content he makes. It's not... We don't have to go into it. He seems like an interesting dude, and his content is pretty good. There's definitely stuff I don't like about it, but at the same time, it's like, how can you complain about someone? He's the only guy doing role plays of I mean, you don't even see, even in games with larger communities, you don't really see a lot of people going out of their way to do roleplay content. Sorry, I have the little minor hiccups here. Bass Cannon is now following. Is that a cannon that fires fish or a cannon that fires like upright bases? Because I feel like very different cannons, but both probably would be entertaining. So I don't know. He doesn't stream. I thought I whipped you into shape. Yeah, you don't see a lot of roleplay stuff. I know that the GTA roleplay thing really like went off and people really responded to that, but it's not something you see a lot of YouTube content about. Storytelling in general is very undervalued, I think, in society in general and on YouTube, as really any platform. If you're a storyteller, I feel like you are not super great. Like if you go to... When I was a teenager, I was on DeviantArt. It is a cannon that fires the bass instrument, but they're shaped like the fish. That's, you got me. I did not foresee that as a possibility. When I was a kid, I was on DeviantArt, which is a very popular, or was a very popular art website where you would post images and stuff. Now I think it's like, well, not a good place to be. You know, I checked in on it a while back, and it seemed like it was a lot of... frankly, pornography and stuff. But back in the day, it was like a place for you to put up your photos and art that you worked on, and you could post writing and stuff. And I was a writer on DeviantArt, and I got basically no viewership. Even when I would, try to coerce my friends into joining, they would all get on DeviantArt, but they wouldn't actually read my stuff. So I always had a difficult time as a writer. Interesting, there's a dead grappler. Ooh, what killed you boys, I wonder? Art piece, doctor's office, private park. What would have killed you? we're too far over for it to be the wasps. It's possible that cockroaches may have killed them, although it's unlikely. Also weird to see a grabber on day 3. Usually I thought they were in the later monster evolution group. Maybe I just didn't see them last time I was playing in the early game. And what was I even talking about? Murder, you seen Krug Smash, nice storyteller. Is that, I think someone linked me to, was it might have been Dwarf Fortress telling, it was a kind of a storytelling situation with Dwarf Fortress. Does that sound like him? And it was like, it was okay. I didn't do, someone commented on my stuff a long time ago and was like, hey, you should do stuff more like this guy. You know, you need to zoom in and zoom out and maybe break from and do lots of editing. And I was like, yeah, it's not really my kind of content. But I definitely did see that guy a little bit, and he seemed entertaining. I mean, I don't like Dwarf Fortress very much, frankly, but yeah, seemed interesting. But for every one of those type of people, there's like 9,000 other people who do non-storytelling content. Like for every person who does edited storytelling content on YouTube of video games, there's like 10,000 people who just do generic Let's Plays that we've all seen a million times before. That's definitely a minority. I think there's a lot of value in that kind of content. I think that that's cool stuff, and I think that edited content and storytelling stuff, I think people are interested. I just don't think that there's, how do I want to say this? I feel like, did I just drop the alcohol in the shopping cart without dropping the keg? So we have 200 Pilsner. How do can I insert that back into the keg? Insert. I can't. And I can't pick it up, can I? You can't pick up a liquid. So that's just permanently in there now because, great. I basically dumped a keg in my shopping cart. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted to do. No, now it says it's back in the keg. Okay, well, why is it still listed in my shopping cart then? So it duplicated the beer as well because it put it in my inventory, but also left it in my shopping cart. Man, it's the third bug today we've run into. So drop the keg. Maybe putting it in there, it fell to the concrete floor. Great. Can't even put a keg. You know what? I don't care. We don't need alcohol anyway. It's fine. Give me my mace back. I think it's a weird thing. I think that kind of creative content, I do think people like it, but I don't think people seek it out. I think it's one of those things where it's like, if someone links you or whatever, and you check out that guy, and you see his content, and you're like, this is really good. You know, he's telling a story, whatever. Then I think people stay, but I don't think people go out of their way to search for it. Just like, you know, I've been looking into doing some like short story, audiobook style content for YouTube, and I've been searching things out, and what I found is that there are a fair number of storytellers on YouTube who post free content that are storytelling content, and they just don't do very well. Even like decent sized ones, like the biggest, like the one that comes to mind is Critical Role, and that's not even really storytelling, it's playing a game of D&D, you know. Dwarf Fortress is an acquired taste. Never opened Fortress mode, only played Adventurer. Never learned to play, tried it a bit. I don't like how it is easy to spill liquids unless it has some other super useful purpose. Yeah, I do wish they would remove... See, it's complicated. If you have food and drink in your inventory, it separates the container from the beverage. If you drop the container, it also drops the beverage. But if you want to consume something, you want it to be listed separately. That way it's color-coded and shows allergies and stuff. But this also enables you to accidentally drop the liquid, which then ruins the, you know, thing. Looking for the Steam version. Yeah, so Dwarf Fortress is supposed to be getting a Steam release where they're going to be adding like a, you know, high-quality tile set and things, and I'm kind of waiting for that more of a graphically overhauled version to check it out. I installed it a couple years ago and played it very, very briefly. Did not like the look of it. I don't think I had a tile set for it at the time, so I was just looking at the ASCII. ASCII really bothers my eyes. And I was just not into it. And it's overly complicated. It's kind of like Cataclysm in that regard. It's a game with a lot of little things that you have to learn. And I'm just not really in the mood to learn a new game of complicated things like that. So one of these days, probably after the Steam release, I'll pick it up and I'll give it a play and give it a serious effort to kind of learn the game. But definitely not something that's super interesting to me. I'm not even into the simulation colony management that much if it's like minimalistic. If I'm going to play something like that, I want it to be like a Sim City or a City Skylines or a Rim World. Something that is graphically appealing in addition to being complex and kind of, you know, the ease of motion of playing the game. Whereas Dwarf Fortress seems like one of those things that has a lot of granularity to it. And kind of learning all the ins and outs, all the controls, optimal behaviors, that kind of stuff. It's just too much. I just want something I can casually play, and Dwarf Fortress is not something you play casually. So I'll check it out again eventually, and we'll see how that goes. Just started playing Oxygen Not Included. I've been wanting to do it, but I have to wait until I get a better tile set. Yeah, it's the tile set, honestly, is a big thing that holds me back. Oxygen Not Included, also played briefly. I didn't love it. Again, not super into the colony simulation-y type stuff. I think it's a good game. I think it's something that a lot of people like, but something about it just didn't really appeal to me. Didn't enjoy it very much. It seemed like, in fact, it was way back when it first, way before it actually had an official release. This would have been like right after it came into early access or beta or whatever it was. And yeah, I actually did not enjoy it. They would constantly have breakdowns, like constantly have breakdowns. And I don't know if that's common or if that's something like I was just bad. I don't know. It was like years ago at this point. Tried learning Dwarf Fortress, but I'm too distracted. Yeah, I personally have a short attention span, and that's part of why it's so hard to learn really complicated things, because it's hard for me to stay interested long enough to actually like focus in and you know, pick up all the details you need. Just like last night trying to do that stupid follower alert. I lost interest like 30 minutes in, but was like, oh man, I really got to make myself do this. And then, you know, 4 hours later, you're like, oh my god, I just wasted my whole day on something that's not even finished, not even really that good looking. And it's just hard for me to stay focused on any one thing. Part of the reason why I never feel like streaming or recording is because I get so bored playing Cataclysm over and over and over. Because I always play the game more or less the same way. It becomes pretty repetitive. Let's, in our last playthrough we had an atomic lantern. Kind of missing that. I don't love that I have to start fires all the time. So let's fix this lab coat while we have the opportunity before it gets, or the travel pack. The lab coat is fully destroyed at this point. Not really a big deal. We can buy another one from the hub. Should have saved before I did this since it crashed earlier while I was trying to sew. So let's save the game and try this again. And we should really butcher some leather so we can fix our pants as well. Great. Travel pack with 4 items fully repaired. Do I have leather is the next question. Fix our pants. We do. We have a chance of failure, but we'll try. Fully repaired. Great. Great. All that should have given us experience as well. We're 47% of the way to the next level. We've been really neglecting our skills. We've been going out and looting a lot. I would like to see Fab come up. I would like to see electronics bump up. First aid should go up as well, but that's not as pressing. And we're going to need mechanics. Where do you start, though? We are tired. You know what? Let's just go to bed. Let's eat and drink something and go to bed. Oh, that's right. Everything is not sorted because they're in containers. Go ahead and sort my loot. And we'll eat a lot of the perishable food that's not in a container will be here, so we'll eat this stuff. Sure, we'll just eat some fruit. I think we're overweight, so we don't have to worry about putting in a lot of calories. We just need to fill our stomach a little bit. And let's have a swig of water. And we should be good to sleep. And put out the fire. We did board up this window. Let's get that corpse out of here. I don't like the idea of sleeping with a corpse in our bedroom. Hate that, actually. That's not very roleplay at all. Pull the corpse outside. So if you're going to sleep near a corpse, you want to sleep like 8 feet from a corpse. You don't want to sleep right next to the corpse. Go ahead, save the game again because of crashiness. Okay. No, keep trying to fall asleep, my friend. You need to sleep. You fall asleep. We could have treated our wounds. I didn't really see a... Probably should have thrown bandages on them. I didn't see a point in disinfecting. Our head got really damaged because we can't wear the helm at night. But if we're just going to spend the next day reading and going to trade with Hubbo 1, we don't really need to be concerned about our health because it's just going to regenerate over time. And yeah, I think that's fine. So we'll just sleep it out here. Corpse wants hug. No, it doesn't. It doesn't want my hugs. I have a very depressing story related to that, but I'm not going to tell that story because it'll just bum me out and ruin the stream. Yeah, corpses. No, don't hug corpses. Oh, you know, when I was a teenager, no, I would have been preteen. I would have been like 8, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And my stepfather had a sister who sucked her thumb, even though she was like 20. She would still suck on her thumb, I guess because it was a comfort thing, whatever. And my stepdad apparently also, or someone in my family, maybe it wasn't him, maybe they were just telling me a story because she sucked her thumb and we brought it up. But like I remember they told me this story about dude used to suck his thumb and they made him go, when he went to a funeral, they made him put his thumb on a corpse so that he would stop sucking his thumb because forever in his mind he remembered that he had basically thumb touched a corpse and it freaked him out. Corpses is a good company. They're good at listening. I guess that's so is everything though. You could just as easily pick up a you know, rubber representation of a person, you know, a big old silicone person, and just talk to them, and you wouldn't have, you know, odors and leakage and all the horrible crap that comes with a corpse. Plus then you don't have to murder anybody, and like murdering people is such a hassle. So what do we want to raise? We should go check the hub because they should have refreshed at this point. That's cruel. Depressing story time. No, I'm disappointed. No, I don't want to drag down. Every time I tell a sad story, it completely ruins my mental state for the rest of the stream. Stop talking about my real doll. I mean, that's essentially what I mean. It's always... I was listening to a podcast recently, and it was about... Who was it about? Jerry Brudos. Jerry Brudos was a murderer, serial killer, back in like the 60s, 50s, I don't really know. He was on Mindhunter. He was one of the people they talked to on Mindhunter. Great show, by the way, if you haven't seen Mindhunter on Netflix. Hugely recommend. Very good. Very dark, but very good. And Jerry Brudos would keep corpses because that's what he wanted. He wanted like a human, but he didn't want all the crap that goes along with a human. He basically wanted a doll. And it raises an interesting question, like somebody with those particular like psychopathies, could their urges be curbed by giving them a doll? Because it's obviously not a person, but it's like realistic enough. And if all they want is a body or entity, like he was into feet, like couldn't we just get him like hyper realistic mannequin feet and maybe that would curb his crazy urges? I don't know. Murder is easy, getting rid of the body is hard. I mean, I wouldn't say murder is easy. I imagine that would be a very difficult emotional thing for like a normal human being to have to do. Sorry for bad grammar, not a native English speaker. Don't worry about it. I just, honestly, my brain sometimes when I'm trying to read chat, I just can't put the words together in my head. We need to read something. Let's, if we're going to read, no, let's go to the hub. That's what I said I would do. So just give me a crap ton of books. How much inventory? 28. Go ahead and put the helm on to spare a little bit more inventory. So we're going to take them a bunch of garbage we don't want. Because books have such a high value, basically. How much are you worth? 50 cents. That's not going to do it. What about you? 250. That's better. Because we don't need all these duplicates anyway. We're overweight already. Okay, give me 2 copies of this. Not enough capacity. Oh, we filled our backpack. Well, whatever. We'll take this batch up and see what they'll give us for this. You're doing very well and you're in good company. You're very nice. Okay. Yeah, community is not going to badmouth you for, you know, if you struggle with English or anything. So head to the hub, see what they have on offer. Again, they should have refreshed. I'm not sure if the 3 days... So we seg faulted, which means the game is going to crash. And going to have to restart from our last save. Really? Okay. Pull up the old... Hopefully that pulled up the overlay. Because I don't want you seeing all my private... In fact, why is this even open? This contains personal information. This should not be open while I'm on stream. Okay. Seg fault. Crash, yes, okay. Get the game restarted. So I don't know when I saved. I guess before we went to sleep. Not sure why it's seg faulted. Seg faults are one of those things that you can't just read. It's one of those things you kind of have to know what you're looking for. And from what I've heard from dev team people, sometimes even with a crash log and stuff, you still can't really tell what caused it. So seg faults in general, not super great. So that should drop the overlay. We should be back. We are back where we were sleeping, so we will... Oh, in fact, this gives us the opportunity to apply bandages this time, because we did kind of forget. So go ahead and give me... You know what? We have the makeshift bandages. Just slap a few... No, get away from all the stuff. Just slap a few bandages on, like, your head, really, is the only one. And then we'll go to sleep. Sleep, yes. Great. So I'm not sure why it crashed. What are you going to do? It is what it is. No idea what I was talking about. Yeah, so we're gonna push up to the hub there, see what they've got on offer. Maybe they have something expensive that we want. Try teleporting in there using the debug menu. I've been trying to avoid using the debug menu on my new characters since they implemented achievements using the debug menu obsoletes achievements, which I totally get, but also I feel like if you're going to use the debug menu to cheat to get achievements, what does it matter? It's a single player game. So I don't really love that they get disabled. But, you know, we're trying to play the honest way. How do I look at achievements? Score menu. Yeah. We've killed 100 monsters already. How about that? How many have we killed? 200 creatures, and we're on day 4. So let's eat something. So I don't love that it screws up your achievements. And that's mainly the reason. I don't want to teleport up there either, just because I don't know where they get hostile and where they don't. We don't really want to upset the hub people. This is not our beverage pile. This is our miscellaneous pile. Give me water. Actually, give me OJ. We also just went from satisfied to hungry. Did I vomit? I didn't. So I'm back to very hungry immediately. So that's exciting. Give me OJ and consume these things that are going to go bad. Satisfied and hydrated. And we're staying at satisfied, so that's good. Let's, again, gather up some books. We'll save right before we leave. That way we're not, if we seg fault, it's not that big of a deal. Can we pick all these up? We can. Give me, I don't know, do they even want these? Not really. Give me 3 of these, and we'll head up there. So we'll save. Good luck with the rest of the stream, getting dinner. Yep, peace out, homie. Have a nice meal. Did we save the game? Now we'll head up there again, see if we seg fault. So it might be a hub related issue, or it could just be a random thing. Sometimes way back in the day, sometimes vehicles would generate on top of other vehicles, which would crash the game with a seg fault.